Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge Podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining me. It's Thursday. It is a big day. I've been doing tons of research and digging into analytics of all these channels. I spent over $200 just looking up analytics. And now I understand why big tech is worth billions and billions and billions. Data is very expensive. Analytics are expensive and big companies pay huge dollars for those analytics. And now I'm realizing why. Because they go into so much in-depth information and it's so eye-opening. So today we're talking a lot about the analytics of certain channels, and then I'm gonna do separate videos to dig really deep into certain channels, and it's gonna be very eye-opening what you're gonna see today. I think you're totally gonna guess what it's all about. And we'll dig into it. But first, if I get this ball in, Amber, my favorite grandmother, I'm gonna get you this hoodie. Wow. Sorry, Amber. Somebody said I don't have an ARC, so I tried an ARC and it failed. Anyway, let's get to it. So one thing you have to know about me is that when I start digging into analytics and I'm not good at math or anything like that, but this stuff interests me. Like, I'm so interested in figuring out how things work, how the sausage is made, obviously, which is kind of what I do in this channel. We're teaching you how the sausage is made on family vlogger channels, what they do to make money, and how they exploit people to do so. Tiffany Beeston, we just covered, is an MLM gangster, and she stops at nothing to make hundreds of thousands of dollars selling through her downline. We're going to uncover that with Margaret, who's digging into the MLMs with me. She's just uncovered a ton of videos. We'll probably have to do 2 or 3 episodes just on the videos alone. So much information, so many people doing disgusting, shotchy things. So I'm down a rabbit hole now. There's no coming. I've taken the red pill, or the blue, I don't know, with the matrix and the bendy spoon, but the spoon is bending and we're here for it. So right after we dive into all the analytics and the stuff that you're not going to be surprised about, we're going to dig into this channel. They uncovered a Reddit thread in my asshole where an influencer's daughter asked if she's the asshole for, okay, we'll get to it. I don't even want to give it away. It's popping right now. This conversation is popping. I actually reached out to that girl. No one has got back to me, but today there's a couple back end things too that people have been reaching out to me, and I'm allowed to expose a few things, okay, about some of these vloggers. That's kind of the tea of it, but whatever. The tea is important because it exposes who they really are. And this channel's now mandate for the time being is to shut down family vloggers, and the way we're going to do that is to discuss who they really are, how the sausage is made, the dirt. If you got to get into the dirt, the tea. If you got to get into the tea, you got to get into it. But I'm never going to do something just for the spite of it. I actually have an end game. Tea channels just generally, oh, what's hot? What's talking about now? Who's got pregnant? Who has fake boobs and all that stuff? And they talk about all that stuff and who wore pants, whatever. My end game is to reveal all of the information, let you make a choice, and kind of reveal who these people really are. And so, unfortunately, you do have to get petty, and you got to get into the tea a tad of the tea, a little bit of the Arnie Pommy, if you will. So, first, let's dig into the analytics of the Weiss life. Now, I did this a little bit last time. And I'm trying to dig into the other. Someone asked me on the Facebook group, and if you head over to the Facebook group, it's called The Problem with Family Vloggers - the DCP. Head over there. We're doing some crazy analytics stuff where people are giving me the videos I should be digging into. It's already, everybody's down all the wormholes. I've started it's not a GoFundMe, it's called a Ko-Fi account. The Ko-Fi account allows people to micro donate to this cause because, again, $200 for analytics. Don't tell my wife. She'll find out eventually, but that's a lot of money to pay for analytics, but I couldn't stop. I had to keep going. And I'm trying to dig into detailed analytics, I'm trying to dig into the detailed analytics of the Weiss Life's second most popular video. And it's the video about the cast. And I'm like, why is it the cast? Why does the cast video have 12 million views? And a lot of people have been, obviously, I don't know if I'm innocent in my mind or if I just don't want to know, but people have foot fetishes, and this girl must be 12 in this video. I don't know. I don't even want to show it. But clearly they're going to that video because she's showing her foot basically for the entire video as the cast comes off. And there are people with foot fetishes that will stop at nothing to look at feet, which in the end, I guess if the foot fetish is what you're coming for, then I guess it's gross, but I guess. And okay. But it's because as a teenager is what gets us. And then the parents know the analytics. And socialbook.io is the program I'm using. And they they're having a problem data processing each individual video. Not only that, it cost me like, they're called social coins. You got to buy these coins. I've bought over $200 worth of coins, and I've blown them all because the bigger the channel you look at, the more coins. So Sakone and Jolie's cost 30 coins. Ace Family costs 30 coins. Yeah, it's just crazy. But we're going to dig into the analytics right now with what I have, because the demographic of that one, it looks like they have it hidden behind this little blur wall, and it looks like the men watching that are almost half or very, very, very close to half of the people who watch that video, which is very eye-opening, like gross eye-opening. And they know this. Again, they know this. Okay, so let's get into the Ace Family demographics real quick. I'm going to open it up my notes here. It's all here. So actually, I want to show you the Beeston family. I call them the Bastions, the bastards. Sorry, the Beeston family analytics. And this is more indicative of what a family vlog should look like. So Tiffany Beeston's relatively innocent as far as her analytics are concerned. Her male audience is only 9%. That is more like it. That's basically my analytics. People who are coming out for my style of stuff are women, and men are not really interested in this stuff. But that's more indicative of what the audience should be because it's what they say they are. Like they're women's empowerment, it's cooking, it's cleaning, it's blah, blah, blah. Hers is more innocent, so that is what a family vlog should look like. I dug up bits of Bish as well, and her analytics are similar. A little higher in the men category. She has 14% men. Now, I'm not sure what it is. Is it maybe because she's older and she's kind of more like a milfy mummy, I guess? I don't know. She's in her 40s or something, but maybe. But even that is pretty decent for what a family channel should be looking like, okay? 14% is a little high as far as I'm concerned for this type of audience, but still within the realm of like, okay, that makes sense. Maybe a bunch of wives are using their husband's YouTube channels to watch it, right? So we have to take that into consideration. Where it gets a little crazy is when you dig into the Weiss life, okay? And theirs is at 35%. 35% males watching this. And remember, it's between the ages of 18 and 54, right? 18 and 54, 29% are between the ages of 18 and 54. That's gross. And we know why. It's because of Gabrielle, the teenager who gets them all their views, okay? So I said, okay, well, maybe it's just, I'm starting to see a pattern. So then I'm going to open up the rich life, which is the R life. Everybody's like, I need to see the rich lives. And apparently the rich life, their kids are a little older. Here's what I'm noticing in my data research. As the kids get older, the male viewers increase. So if you look at bits of Bish and Tiffany Bastard and all these people, they have less males because their kids are smaller, which almost is better. What it tells me is that there's a group of men who are okay with looking at teenagers, and that's gross. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's almost worse. It's not worse, but it's gross. So I dig into the R life. Their male population, exactly like the Weiss life, 35%, although shifts to the older demographic. Between the ages of 25 and 54, it's a huge number. A huge number. But don't forget the R life. Let's do some math here. The R life has 1.3 million subscribers, okay? 35% of that. Hey, Alexa, what's 35% of 1.3 million?
35% of 1.3 million is 455,000.
455,000 men are watching this, the R life, okay? 25 and between the ages of 25 and 54, so the older demographics is 17%, 20, so we're going to 30%, 30.1%, 33.3%. So of that number, 33.3% are older men watching this channel because they have older kids. Then I'm like, let's dig into Ace Family. And again, I'm going to do separate videos on all these analytics and break them down for you guys for each individual family. So when we're coming after the advertisers, they can go to these videos and watch who they're advertising to, even though a company actually has access to this just like that, like I do. So the company knows too, but companies won't do anything until there's an outcry from people saying, look, stop. Okay. And then once they start realizing, we're done, right? So I said, okay, let's open up the Ace Family, which cost me $50 American, which is like, basically, I had to take a second mortgage at my house to download these analytics. It's worth it. It's worth it to do this, okay? It's worth it for the protection of kids in the end. We all know the Ace Family is the most disgusting family of them all. Well, Austin is, maybe Catherine too, but again, they're the ones who take most advantage of the children. They're the ones who are like the most gross, the most fake, the most narcissistic, everything. They're gross. their analytics are really, really high for a family without teenagers. 22% male, okay? Between the ages, and this is crazy. The highest percentage of their male category, 11%, is 25 to 34 years old. And then there's a lull between 35 and 44, and then a bump of 45 and 54. To me, insane. But here's the danger of what we're talking about here. Remember, we're working within numbers. So in a huge swath of people, there's going to exist creepy people, maps, stalkers, people who will murder people, you know, serial killers, all that kind of stuff is happening, okay? In this swath of people, if you look at the Ace family, okay, here we go. This is math time. Ready? 19.1 million subscribers, okay? Alexa, what is 22% of 19.1 million?
22% of 19.1 million is 4.202 million.
4.2 million men are watching the Ace family and the young kids that they have, okay? Crazy, okay? Of that 4.2 million people, okay, let's just dig into why are men between the ages of 40, let's go from just 35 to 54. Let's just say the men between 18 and 34 are just, I don't know, I can't explain it, but let's just stick to the older crowd because there's no reason that they should be watching this shit, okay? Because if you look at the analytics for a normal family, which we're going to use bits of Bish or Beeston, or we're going to use Beast analytics, their numbers are really, really low for the 45 to 54 category. Like, let's look at bits of Bish. Hers are really, really low. So those are more what it should look like. Okay, when you get into the Ace family, 4.2 million men are watching. Okay, but it's weird that their higher analytics are in the 35 to 54 range, which is about, let's say, 6.4%. Okay, Alexa, what is 6.4% of 4.2 million?
6.4% of 4.2 million is 268,800.
Just between the ages of 35 and 54. 200,000 or something, right? I have a bad memory. That, to me, is insane. Guys, now that we're understanding the analytics, now that we're seeing who's watching these videos, and it's not to say, like, how dare you watch these videos, but it's not even that. It's like, why are you watching these videos? And it's crazy because think about this. The amount of predators around the world is really scary. Something has happened in the past 50 years that has changed the landscape of predatory culture. And now that the LGBTQ and now that the world and now that these guys are trying to call themselves maps, I call them that because that's an acceptable word on YouTube. I get away with it. We know what they are. Okay, they're the P word. And so there's a huge swath of these people who are unaccepted into society. They have to live in secret and in the shadows, and they use YouTube to basically do what they need to do instead. Before, they used to go to the park and stare at kids and people would be all creeped out about it, right? Or they used to go and be creepy with binoculars or spy on people. Now they can do it right in the privacy of your home, family vloggers. They just have to turn on your video, watch it 100 times, do the deeds, the things they need to do, fantasize about your children and your teenage daughters and all that stuff, and it's disgusting, and you know it is. And that you've opened the gate to allow maps and P guys to just do what they used to do out in public and get caught for. Now they've just gone underground and in secret. Now, a lot of people have been calling this out, and I know why YouTube removed comment sections from most family vloggers' channels, right? Because these people, Maps and Ps, were taking like the timestamp of videos, putting it in the comment section, or taking timestamps of videos and putting it on their forums, where they'd say, hey, go look at this girl, she's not wearing a diaper, or go look at this teenager who's getting her cast cut off. And they would link all of these. They can still do that. There's nothing stopping them from doing it, but they would link it in the comment section, right? And so YouTube's starting to catch on to this, or they knew, and then they only probably stopped it until they got enough pressure. And family vloggers took a massive hit because of that. And if I can find out which families were arguing about losing the ability to comment and stuff like that, it's going to be very telling, because they lost a lot of money. They lost a lot of engagement because they couldn't be talking in the comments. People wouldn't be leaving them comments about things. And then so this is what happened. These family vloggers with their kids were their main thing on them. They all started making their own channel. Micah Stauffer. Okay. All these women just started making separate channels where they're like, it's me, it's not my kids. And then they would say, it's not about the kids. It's not for kids, but they didn't change anything. They found a loophole to YouTube's rules where they said nothing really changed about the video where it was for family vlogging with kids in it. And now it's like, when you upload a video onto YouTube, you have to click a little thing that says, is this for kids? And then they click the little no. Because, yeah, it's not. But it was before. And those kids were their main demographic watching this stuff, making the most money because they didn't skip the ads. Those are the kids they were selling to. And they knew this, guys. These channels knew this. And so as soon as I can find out which channels raised a huge stink about losing the comment sections in their channels and then they switched over to their other ones, it's going to be so revealing to you. This is why data and analytics are one of the most important factors into this stuff. Because now we get to see the sausage is made, and we have an analytical proof of it, marked down, digitally taken and paid for, to show you what's happening. So the Ace family got me a little bit confused. I'm like, well, they don't have teenagers, right? And our life has teenagers. Weiss life has a teenager, and theirs are up. So again, 22% is kind of like on the higher end of unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. But 19 million people. So there's a big difference between the Weiss life, who only has 900,000 subscribers, and 19 million people, right? Talking 4 million person difference between the men who are watching these family vlogs. The issue here that we're talking about is that men don't watch this stuff. It's not targeted to them. Men don't buy MLM oils. Men don't buy the vacuums. And if they did for their wife, they're stupid. They're not. These people are not targeting men. The advertising are not targeting men. Look at if you go into the Weiss life, their advertisers are all like Ipsy, Build-A-Bear, Sephora, Universal Studios, Chrysler, Starbucks, Hasbro, Jack and all like basically Hyundai. Like the car ones maybe for dudes, but the rest generally women. Okay, and so they're ignoring that huge swath of people and they're enabling these families to do this by paying them. By saying, well, and they can't get out of this game. They've already made so much money that what are they, again, I keep coming back to this. What are they going to do when this is done? When the YouTube golden goose is gone for them, what are they going to do? How are they going to make this kind of money and continue the lifestyle that they've had unless they save every penny? Which they don't, because they all live lavishly. Vegas trips and everything else, and Disney and traveling the world and all that stuff. They'd be smart to save all their money because their ship is about to come to port and they are about to get off, and then that ship's leaving. And they're not going to be able to get back on. That's what's happening right now. The conversation has like exploded, and we're going to get to that in a minute. So then I said, okay, fine. Is it true that if you have teenagers on your channel, and I'm going to dig into every single family vlogger now, if I can get you guys to donate to that thing, I'll put the link below. It really helps because my wife's going to shit when she sees how much money I spent on this stuff. It's really expensive, but I think a lot of people are into this with me, and they're willing to kind of donate. And I'm happy to. But anyway, so I said, let's dig into 8 Passengers analytics. And again, what does it show? They have teenage daughters. High percentage of males watching it. 25% of their 1.1 million subscribers, something like that, 1.2 million subscribers, 25% men, okay? Huge boost in the 18 to 24 in this one, right? And then, again, 25 to 44, and then they're lower, the older men kind of drop off, right? But very telling. Teenage daughters, higher percentage of men. Can't argue with the data. I'm sorry. Why are men watching family vloggers? I don't know any man who watches a family vlogger. I don't know a man like, did you check out? Oh, did you see what happened to 8 Passengers the other day? It's insane. Like they made cake and shit and put milk on it. It was, oh my God, it's amazing. You need to go watch it. I subscribed right away. No, men generally don't watch this shit. They watch things like, I don't know, Stauffer. Oh man, I should just type in Stauffer Garage. Let's do it. Let's freaking, can I afford it? Let's see how many coins I have left. I doubt it. Let's see. Stauffer garbage I typed by accident. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so Stauffer Garage, 1.03 million subscribers. Oh. Okay, I can afford it. It's only going to cost 1 coin. Okay. Let's do it. I'm downloading right now. Okay. So this is really, really revealing for Stauffer Garage. And this is how I know he's buying subs. This is a different thing. No, it's the same thing. Same topic. His suggested price range is $9,000, which means that if you're going to advertise with Stauffer Garage, it's going to cost you $9,000. They don't even have a cost per engagement rate on his channel. And their cost per 1,000 views is $200. Okay, if you go into my cost per, okay, look, let's just use me as a benchmark, right? Let's just use my benchmark. Okay, I'm a nobody. Okay, my cost per engagement, okay, I'm a nobody, right? So if you want to advertise the Dad Challenge podcast, it's going to cost you about $600, okay? My cost per 1,000 views is $36, and my cost per engagement is about 3 cents. I don't know what that means. I don't know what any of this means. My engagement rate is 55.8%. I don't know if that's good. It's better than 8 Passengers. It's better than, well, his engagement rate is 0. based on the analytics from this channel. Stauffer Garage's engagement rate is 0. Holy smokes. He has no cost per engagement rate. Nobody advertises with him because they won't touch him. Because as soon as he gets an advertisement, people come after them. Guys, if you don't think what we're doing is working, it absolutely is working. Look at this data. Here it is. Look at this data. Okay, so, but look at his, this is why we didn't think it was really hitting, but it actually is. James's engagement, 90% male, 10% female, and his demographics for males are between 18 and 34. Nobody over the age of 35 is watching him. That is really, really interesting. Really interesting. Oh my goodness, that's so interesting. His data is hard to find because, oh my gosh, his engagement, his total sub increase dropped massively after January, February, March, April, May. May 01, which is when the H situation hits. Oh my gosh, guys. When the H situation, I gotta record this for you. Okay, so look at this. The H situation hits right here. May, around this time. Look at this. Boom. Drop. Increase in subs, increase. They're buying subs. There is no way you increase subs 2,000, 19,000, 25,000 subs. Guys, they bought their subs to 1 million. YouTube should not be giving him the 1 million subscriber plaque because they bought it and they did it on the fake. That is, look at the data and the analytics. They don't lie. Look at this again. May drops massively. OMG. Okay. I'm glad I did that because first of all, I wanted to show you his gender breakdown, which again, this is what it should look like. Men are watching guys cleaning cars and things like that. Women are watching women clean their houses and make cookies and do stupid shit and be vapid and fake and go to Vegas and make shitty videos. But James's engagement rate and all this stuff, guys, is insane. His analytics are garbage for an account with 1 million subscribers. Also, I'm looking here. This Gabrielle Weiss video, it will not data process. But if you look here, again, this is what I was showing you. It looks like half of her views on that 12 million view video of her getting her cast off are men. Unless this is just showing me a fake thing, I don't know. But if that's what it is, it will not process the data for this video. It can't. I don't know what's going on, and that really, really sucks. If someone out there knows a better platform that we can engage with analytics, please let me know, because I'm happy to go to a better one. But again, that's what it's going to look like. Men are watching this stuff. Men should not be watching family vloggers, because that's not who their target is. But what it means is that it's drawing creepers. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I can say there. There's just no way that can be denied, is all I'm saying. Again, when you have teenagers in your family, like the Ingham family here, their engagement rate for males is 20%. The Ingham family, man, I'm coming after them. That's insane. 20%, and the male demographic is grossly old. I'm finding a shift in the older demographic in the UK audiences. I don't know what that means. I'm not speculating anything, or that's very interesting to me, and I don't know what it means. When it's a UK family, I tend to find the older elevated men's audience is from UK audiences. UK people out there. Explain. Maybe your country is more, the men in your country are more geared to watching this stuff and it's more acceptable to not, I can't imagine you walking in and your bro watching a family vlog like, dude, what are you watching, man? Right? I don't know if that would go here. So I think I broke down pretty much everybody. That is just a basic overall breakdown of what I'm seeing here in the analytics. So when you have teenagers on your channel, obviously it's going to be elevated. For whatever reason, the Ace family draws a lot of men to their channel. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the wife. Maybe it's Catherine. They like watching her. Something tells me it's not. Something tells me that I've never really watched an Ace family video, and now it's almost like I have to go down the rabbit hole and find out why men are, and try to get into the heads of why these older men are watching this stuff. I know that there's a video out there where he smacks his daughter's bum. If I can put it here, I'll put it here.
Your butt in front of them.
That's true. I'll be shaking my little thing, my little donk. I'll be working out too. My shit getting fat.
Yeah, lights, bulb.
God, I can't. All I gotta say,
Austin just started working out, by the way. Can you guys tell?
And then another guy was like, "What? What are you saying? What is this? What?" And he says, "Oh my!" And it was really sexualized. And I don't know if that's indicative of the way that Austin is with his family. right? And so that maybe draws that type of demographic. I don't know. That's conjecture. But that, to me, to a lot of people, that's telling. Buying a girl a dick lollipop and all that kind of stuff is maybe that he has shaped his channel in a way that makes it more acceptable for these older men to watch, because they're like, well, he's like that, I'm going to watch that too. Maybe he's going to show more. I don't know. That's all conjecture. But the wheels are turning. The psychoanalysis is turning on this thing. I don't know what's going on. All that important, obviously, and we're going to break down every single video. We're going to break down every family and their demographics as I get them, and I'm going to break down their biggest videos and the ones that are most telling. Once, like, if Social Book can freaking analyze them, because it doesn't want to analyze the Weiss one, which is pissing me off, because I really want the analytics from that video. Maybe, okay, look, let's do this. Let me find another Weiss video, okay, of the bra shopping or something, right? Let's go into the one of the bikini or bra shopping. The one we analyzed the other day. Let's see if I can find it real quick. And if we can, we'll analyze. Let's see if we can analyze that one. Insane. How many they're talking about bra shopping, dress shopping. It's all Gabrielle here. And I'm going to tell you guys a story about Gabrielle after we break down one more video. See if we can. Sorry, I kept calling her Gabrielle in the last video. My bad. It's Gabrielle. Sorry, Gabrielle, if you're watching. My bad. Oh my goodness. A lot of teeth coming out. I guess there's people with teeth fetishes too. Is there people with teeth fetishes? If there is, man, come on. Really? Why are there people with teeth fetishes? Please don't. And if that's the case, they're digging into the analytics of these teeth, and they're using these, they see what's popping, and then they use those videos because it was the most popular, and they keep going on those. That's gross, guys. That's what's most telling about this whole thing, is that they're using the ones that they get the views on, understanding their analytics, and keeping it going, because that makes them the most money, regardless of the creepers it's bringing to their channels. That is insanely disgusting. Weiss family is the worst of the analytics, next to, who's the other one with 35%, which was the Ingham? No, who was the other one? Our Life. So we're going to have to get into the Our Life too. Oh, it says, the stats data average views engagement rate is ready. However, demographics is still being calculated. It might take some time. Whatever. I got one coin, let's spend it. It's having a hard time analyzing the data of the demographics. The other stuff is coming through okay. It's the demographics of the videos that they can't find, which is that's the information I want. I wonder if that's being held back on purpose for some reason. Very eye-opening. So I can't get it. Okay, anyway, let's dive into the story about Gabrielle Weiss. Okay, so I had a person that went to her school reach out to me, and she said, I'm allowed to speak. I'm not going to ever give you her name, but I'm going to read what she wrote, and she said I'm allowed to. So the person writes to me initially, says, hey Josh, this is so-and-so from your live video. I mentioned going to her school, and you asked me to email you, so here's my email if you have questions. Okay? And I asked her, hey, person, are you allowed to speak to me? Would your parents be okay with it? Because now I realize she's clearly a teenager. She goes to school with her. And then this person said, yes, they would probably be okay with it. Also, I was wondering if for future you'd mind if I remain anonymous. Of course. I doubt I know enough to actually help with anything, because Gabby and I were not close friends or anything like that. But in case I do want to talk about it, I prefer not to have my name out there. So obviously I'm not going to give you my source, but I'm just going to read you the emails because they make sense. As far as Gabby goes, from what I've seen, she isn't too affected by the channel in general and doesn't seem too bothered when people ask her about it. However, when the video about more sensitive topics got released, the whole school started watching the videos, and she took it really hard. She wasn't at school for the next few days, and I heard from some of her friends that she had been very upset about everyone knowing and talking about it, so she couldn't bring herself to get to school. This is crazy, guys. I really don't know how that went down, though. She might have faked being sick, and I don't know if her parents found out about how much it affected her, or she even bothered to tell them, because it probably wouldn't change what they do. I don't know her well, but from times I've talked to her, she gives off the vibe, I hate that word, honestly, I don't know how else to explain it, that she's used to attention and almost that she feels entitled and better than other people. It's not super noticeable, and it's usually just small remarks that seem a bit weird, but all in all, she's not super outwardly snobby. Considering her family is famous, starting from when she was young, I don't think anyone can blame her for being a bit stuck up. I try to cut her some slack because I feel bad about her situation. I know I'd probably have the same attitude in her shoes. So I just said, thank you so much for this information. You sound like a very smart individual, young lady. Thank you so much. And I said, is there any more? She's like, I wish there was more, but I sadly never got super close to her. She doesn't go to school as of this year, but did for a few years. And I'd rather not have it out on the internet anywhere. She's just telling me the name of the school because I wanted to corroborate who this person was, right? And again, don't put the name of the school. Of course, I would never would. And then, so basically what's happening here is she knows her, kind of like, you know, probably knows her in passing, probably, you know, sees her and maybe talks to her here and there, maybe in a class together. But what's really telling is that when they brought up the sensitive information, here's the danger, everybody. Now listen to me. And we're going to go into a Reddit thread right after this. This is the danger. The whole school now knows her bra size. Seen her in a bikini on TV, her mom measuring her boobs, all this kind of stuff for whatever they did. I didn't watch her other video. I'm not going to watch it. I hope I don't ever have to watch it to analyze it. But that's really scary. The fact that she has to fake sick to her parents and here's why I think that this person is right about her not telling her parents. She probably just faked being sick and didn't want to tell her mom because her mom's not there anyway. Her mom's going to be like, well, this is how we make our living, right? This is our big money. If you want all the things you want when you turn 16, you want a car, you want to live in this fancy house, you want to do all the things we do, you want to spend the money on your birthday, you want to do all that shit. This is how we have to roll. Right? That's probably how her mom, but from what I've heard, and again, you heard from the last video, is Gabrielle is very unhappy. She's used as a babysitter. When the parents want to go do all their things, she's basically only used for when it's time to do a video. Jeffrey's not her real father. And so she's probably on the outside of that too. Not as loved, probably just the way it kind of goes sometimes in families. I don't want to analyze that because I don't know, but it sounds like she's very unhappy. And so when this broke down at school, she probably couldn't even tell her mom and her stepfather about it because she's like worried what she's going to say and she's being pressured. Again, this goes back to putting pressure on your kid's shoulders to say, well, we make money off you. And so, you know, if you don't do this, we're basically screwed. And you don't think parents will put it past them to do that? They will. This is everything, these parents. Once money becomes involved, people will do crazy shit and you all know it. You all know it. Okay, so I tend to agree with this girl that says, no, I don't think she told her parents. I think she just faked being sick for a week or two. And now she's not even in school. Her parents pulled her out of school because they'd rather just, hey, well, we're going to pull you out of school then. If you're going to get bullied at school or whatever, people are going to call you. Or maybe the principal called and said, you realize what's going on right here, right? You're filming your daughter doing this stuff. And I think it's a teacher's obligation to reach out to the parents and say, you need to stop doing this, especially teachers who can see. And Gabrielle looks like a very smart, you know, very nice young lady. And probably has teachers like her and stuff like that. And so teachers can see. And if a teacher didn't reach out and say, what is going on here? Why are you putting this on the internet? I would be severely disappointed in the teachers. And so what it tells me is that the teachers likely did reach out to her parents. And her parents said, well, F you, we're going to pull her out of school and now we're homeschooling. That's my conjecture. That's alleged. It's not happening, but I guarantee you that's probably what happened. COVID kind of probably stepped the process and made it easier. But again, they pulled her out because there were likely people saying, stop this. There are people in their community saying, stop this. There are probably family members saying, stop this. And the Weiss family's like, F you, we make millions, piss off. These kids are going to have amazing lives because of YouTube and blah, blah, blah. That's how they justify it in their minds, right? Oh, they're going to have everything they want. Guys, money isn't everything. You know what I mean? Privacy is now valued more than money is to a lot of people. Do you know that? People pay exorbitant amounts of money for their privacy to like keep it private now. Used to be you could open a phone book, find out where someone lived, and go kill them if you wanted to. Can't do that anymore. Sometimes it's really hard to find people, okay? And that's good. Privacy is actually more valuable than money. And what you're doing, family vloggers, is you're taking that right away from your children for their future. And don't get it twisted. It's super crazy. And we're going to dive into that in a second. And we don't know what it's going to be like when your kids turn 18, 20 years old, 10, 15 years down the road from now. It's going to be way worse. Their information is going to be able to be accessed like that. The internet is massive and it's not going to go away and it's only going to get easier to access information. And it's forever. And you've taken that right away from your children. And the analytics prove that you don't give a shit who's watching your kids. That you actually, I'm going to say it, you approve of it because those are the people ingesting your film. They're the people ingesting your content and you are playing into them because those are the people who watch it in multiples. The feet, the bras, the bikinis, the teeth, the weird shit that you do that you know people with kinks watch and they can do it from the comfort of their living room. But don't get it twisted. Of 4 million people who watch the Ace Family, if you don't think there's going to be one freaking weirdo creeper in there watching it, you're wrong. Statistics would be not in your favor on that one. And the statistics would probably be likely a lot higher than you think. I'm talking there could be serial killers inside of that demographic. And that to me is the one scariest thing ever. And they play the long game, some of these guys. They wait. Look, it's so creepy to think about this stuff, but just they do. They play the long game. Gabrielle could be going to school one day or Target or whatever it is, and just one guy decides, this is the girl that I want. And I've been watching her on grow up on YouTube, and I feel like I'm her friend or I'm part of her, and I think she'd be friends with me. These people don't think like normal people, right? They have mental illnesses. They think differently. They don't think like in real world and real human terms. They're not good at that stuff. They think that they are part of these people's lives because you invited them into your living room. And eventually something bad is going to happen. And it scares the shit out of me. And I think it scares the shit out of a lot of people watching this channel. If you take anything from this, all my snark and my funniness and all that shit and all the stuff I talk about, this one here is a very important point. You need to give your kids the ability to have their privacy, to not be on the internet, to grow up in the internet, to have everything put out for the world to see. Because there's too much risk. I mean, that's future jobs. That's future boyfriends, girlfriends. We're going to dive into that right now. Let's dig into this video. Simply Podlogical did a podcast. People were like, you need to go watch this. It's at this. They gave me the time zone, or they gave me the timestamp and everything. Love when people do that. If you're going to give me a video and you want me to analyze it, if you give me a timestamp, you're my friend. I love you. And anyway, they covered this, they uncovered, they did an Am I the Asshole, which I do a lot too, I love this stuff, where they just go on and they go on Reddit and they talk about these threads, which are so good. I love Reddit threads. It's a rabbit hole to go down a Reddit thread, that's for sure. And so they uncovered an Am I the Asshole, and this was so eye-opening. And they had some great stuff to say about it too. They were a little bit more generous than I'm gonna be right here, okay? So here it is. Am I the asshole? My mom is an influencer. I'm sick of being part of it. I had no photos, hoodies, printed for me and my little sister. Wow, okay? Let me read it to you. I'm sorry this video is long, everybody, but this is an important topic. I'm a teenager and my mom is kind of famous on Instagram and blogging. She has a mommy blog, all when I was growing up, and of course, me and my sister were always involved. Because that's where they make their money. Not here to watch these vapid ladies, it's creepers watching your kids. It sucks because there's so much out there about us, and it's what's going to come up when I'm looking for a job, when I'm dating, and when anyone looks up my name. Yep. I found a website that will print custom jackets, print all over the front and the back and arms, and I ordered some hoodies that say a bunch of phrases all over them. Love this. No photos, no videos. I do not consent to be photographed. No means no. Respect my privacy. No cameras. No profiting off my image. This kid, this girl, it's a girl, smart AF. You, if you're watching this, and I hope you are, brilliant. And hear me out, you shouldn't have had to do that. But you did, and it's brilliant. Listen, it sounds silly, but it looks pretty sick, actually. I agree, I think that's cool. I got one for me and one for my 9-year-old sister who started to not always want to be in photos. Right? So it's the daughter understanding what's going on and hearing that the 9-year-old is say the mom is blinded by fame and money and her power and privilege and her whatever, you know, her clout and her influence on people and doesn't care. Does not want to hear it. These people are so blind to their kid's own thing. Okay? Scary as shit. And I guess the idea is my mom can't take good looking pictures, right? So she's saying that her mom can't take pictures of the kids. Brilliant. Even candid ones. With us in the hoodies, without them having a pretty strong message that we don't want to be in pictures. This kid is brilliant. My mom was mad when they showed up, and really mad when I'm wearing mine. Like she says she just wants pictures to remember my young years by. She won't post ones without asking. But I know that's a whole mess anyway. She always said that and then negotiates me into letting her post. See, the parents are manipulating their children. Like Jess Fam might be like, my kids don't want to be on it. They're not going to be on it. Again, Jess Fam, you asshole. You kids have been on it since they were birthed. So they didn't have a choice then. All of a sudden, when they start getting a choice, you're gonna be like, okay, cool, yeah, it's too late. So, but I know that's a whole mess anyway, she says. She always says that and negotiates me into letting her post, like either by saying that's how she makes income. So if I want money or something, to stop arguing about pictures or posting without asking and saying, I thought it would be okay because your face wasn't visible. You're just in the background. This mom is a asshole. I'm always like, no, you didn't think. Okay, sorry. I'm always like, no, you didn't think. And if you thought at all, you remember what I said and I want. No new pictures of me or mentions of me online. Remove all pictures that include me that you've ever posted and delete any writing that mentions me. This should be a conversation a parent needs to have with a kid. This kid is the parent here. Unbelievable. I'm just so fed up and upset that my mom is mad at me for wearing my new hoodie every day. She's mad I won't take it off for any event and thinks it's inappropriate to wear at certain things. I know it's really weird looking, but it feels like my only option. Sad. Edit. To add a couple more things, she also says all the mentions of consent and no means no and this body is my own, sorry, forgot to mention that one earlier, implies something more inappropriate and that is really inappropriate to wear those words out in public. We've also fought about me wearing it to family events and school events with a generally dressier dress code because it looks like a gangster hoodie. I don't know what to say to that, but I don't agree. Am I the a-hole for always wearing my no photos hoodie? No, you're not the a-hole. Insane that you have to do this to begin with. And she's trying to tell her daughter that that's inappropriate to wear that stuff because it implies something. Guys, I just unloaded the analytics for you. If you have teenagers on your vlog and your blog and they've grown up on TV, the analytics prove that men are watching. Regardless of what their motives are, the analytics prove. And this mom knows that shit too. Insane. So I'm going to go find the comments she wrote in this section. So she called Finally Anonymous 6 because this is an anonymous account, throwaway. And, you know, could be what it is. I think someone found the vlogger. Nah, so someone asks, if mom doesn't want to rebrand, just something as simple as using OP's first initials in posts, whatever, what can you do? And she says, nah, that'd still be really simple to trace to me. The cat is already out of the bag regarding my identity. Meaning she's like, if someone knows it, they'll find her, right? It's not going to be hard to figure out K is for Katie Ann Henderson, fake name, she says. And same goes with pictures. People aren't dumb, and I want it to stop, and all gone. This daughter of this vlogger or blogger or Instagrammer is literally telling her mom, I don't want to be on this. I know 8 Passengers, the same thing. Girls are like, I don't want to say this. The younger middle teenager girl doesn't often want to be on there because she has acne and she's got low self-image. And I wonder why, Ruby. I wonder why. Because you're doing videos with like acne medicine and stuff like that. I wonder why she has a low self-image. But this, if your kid reaches out and says, done, take everything off, and you don't, you should be sued. Like that kid needs to be taken from your custody. She writes down here and says, I don't want to be in the public eye like that. I was thinking that if I do post anything, I'd make an Instagram account. Someone suggested she makes a different account, like a parody, and say, become your own influencer against your mom's influence, right? And she said, I don't want to be in the public eye. She just doesn't want to be in the public eye. She doesn't want the fame and attention. This is what this girl's saying. She doesn't want it. And I think as kids get older in this industry, like Gabrielle at her high school having to take weeks off of school for being bullied or whatever it is, or people knowing some sensitive information about her, that's really scary as a teenager. I remember being bullied in school. I got so scared at one point that I hate to say this, I considered suicide, and I also considered just never going to school ever again. And I would wake up with so much anxiety for going to school because of the relentless bullying that was happening to me that I would cry on my way to school. I would be broken down, and I would be literally scared for my life walking through the doors of that school. If you don't know what that's like, people, and some of you do know what that's like, that is very, very detrimental. Okay, that's psychologically damaging to a child. And to this day, when I see people being bullied and injustice happening, I get crazy, which is why I'm doing this. So when you're being bullied at school, or even today, it's different. It might not be like when I was a kid. I got beat up and stuff like that, and pushed into lockers, and snowballs thrown in my face, and like people pushing me into windows and stuff like that, and kicking me in the face and stabbing. I have a piece of lead in my leg from a guy who stabbed me with a pencil, and it's still there as a reminder today. Okay, so shit went down. Bullying is real. When you put your shit out for your kids to see, high school and even like grade 7 to like the end is relentlessly crazy. They are relentless, and they are savages. And so you have to take that into account when you do this stuff. So she says, I was thinking that if I do post anything, I'd make an Instagram account and post one picture that's just me holding up a paper that says, I do not consent to photos on the account of, and then her mom's account. I do not consent to being written about on mommy blog title. I do not consent to the pictures and stories already posted there. Please help me feel like my consent matters for once. Please report all of mom's account posts where I appear for harassment. Brilliant. This is what she should do. And I can't believe she has to even consider doing this. Okay? But honestly, I'm worried that the kind of drama would put me in the public eye and lead to articles about me. And again, she's just worried. She's stuck between a rock and a hard place. She doesn't want to be famous. And the only way to combat what her mother is doing is to literally become famous for doing what she's doing. Insane. Plus, I know the wording would make my mom angry. At this point, girl, gives a shit. Every time I talk about consent or no means no, or how my own body, or how I own my own body, she accuses me of making it sound like a dirty sex thing, which isn't how I mean it. Just think consent and bodily autonomy matters for many reasons. This girl is brilliant. I hope you go to Harvard. I hope you do big things. I hope you become a catalyst for change, because this is what's happening. This conversation is going viral, and it happened 10 months ago. Unbelievable that she has to go through that. So apparently someone uncovered a Washington Post article on parenting. And article called, My Daughter Asks Me to Stop Writing About Motherhood. Here's Why I Can't Do That. Again, notice how she wrote Motherhood by Christy Tate. And I don't know if Christy Tate is her. And I'm going to go to Instagram and see if I can look her up. Oh, BuzzFeed came up with an article. This mommy blogger is under fire for refusing to stop writing about her 9-year-old after the girl begged her to. Oh, it is her. Christy Tate has been blogging for over a decade. First about her wedding and then about her motherhood in multiple blogs. And they have it linked here. Okay. and it's terrible. Your blog is garbage, lady. Your fonts are trash. Okay, so BuzzFeed undid it. And there she is right there, everybody. I don't know who it is. Her writing has appeared in the Washington Post and Huffington Post, Chicago Tribune, and more. As a mommy blogger, Tate's 2 children have been subjects of her writing since they were in diapers. Damn. She has told many stories about her young son and daughter, often using their real names. Tate has discussed her daughter's adventures in potty training, fights they have, and described detailing with her explosive temper tantrums, stage fright, her tendency to eavesdrop, and once the girl's rather tenacious case of diarrhea. Oh my God. Basically, so this mother just decided she was going to like come out and say anything she wanted to and use it to make money. So she writes this article. Christy Tate, listen here, twat. I'm going to read this for everybody, and I'm going to break this shit down. This is the most epic Christmas ever, my fourth grade daughter proclaimed from behind the new laptop we gifted her. After 3 years of her begging for a phone, a tablet, a computer, we capitulated with a basic laptop complete with parental controls. We envisioned it primarily as a tool for schoolwork and learning. No. Based on her enthusiasm level, she envisioned it as a tool for binge watching her favorite shows and keeping up with Zac Efron's love life. Understood. After enduring years of laments about she was the only kid without her own device, I felt novel to soak in a gratitude and an unalloyed joy. That lasted about 14 hours. Yep, welcome to parenthood, Mom. The day after Christmas, she hunkered down to explore her laptop. First stop, an internet-wide search on my name. Second stop, a furious march to my room where she thrust the shiny new device in my face. What's all this? She said. She's 4. Or 9, something like that. The screen was covered with thumbnail sketches of her as a baby, a toddler, and preschooler, each paired with an essay or blog post I'd written on the subject of parenting. Why are all these pictures of me on the internet? She didn't even know. Okay? She wanted to know, and she had a right to know. Years ago, when I began publishing essays and submitting family pictures to editors, I considered the day my children would confront me about what I'd written. At the time, I'd read articles by parents of older children who were weighing the ethics of using their children's stories or pictures for essay material. But my kids were too young to care about what I cared about, how they ate, how little they slept, or how their taste in clothes was terrible. I remember thinking that one day I would have to answer for my work, yet when that day finally arrived, I had no response prepared, because you're a douche. In the moment I stammered, trying to buy some time so I can go back and read what those sage parents had advised. When that failed, I told her the truth, that I write about our family in essays that sometimes I include a picture. She was not comforted. I wouldn't do that now without your permission, I promised. Could I take the essays and pictures off the internet, she wanted to know. I told her that was not possible. Kidding me? There was heavy sighing and a slammed door. She should have punched you right in the lips. When I had pictures of our first serious conversation about how the internet is forever, I always thought we'd be talking about content posted by her, not me. So she's had a conversation with her daughter about how the internet's forever, and all the while she's posting shit about her whole entire life for the internet to read. I read through some of my old pieces, and none of them seemed embarrassing to me. No, you don't get to say that. Though she might not agree. She doesn't agree. She told you she doesn't agree. A few years ago, I wrote about a disappointment in her social life. A girl she counted as her best friend abruptly stopped talking to her. While I wrote about the experience from a perspective of a mother trying to help her daughter through a rough patch without succumbing to anti-girl stereotypes about so-called mean girls, she may not appreciate seeing a painful episode from her past splash across the internet. So take it down, bish. My impulse is to promise her that I'll never write about her again. In most of the articles I found on the subject, the writers eventually gave up writing about their children when they reached a certain age. They stopped to protect their children's privacy, or Darlena Cunha explained, to salvage their desire for such privacy so they become adults, there is something to preserve. Salvage the desire for privacy so that your kids can be adults, because they might not want to be famous when they're 15, 16. I respect that approach and understand why it works for many writers, but it's not a promise I can make. This girl needs to be canceled. Certainly, my daughter is old enough now that I owe her a heads up and a veto right on the pictures or portions of the content, but I'm not done exploring my motherhood in writing, and sometimes my stories will be inextricably linked to our experiences. Nope, if she doesn't want it to be in those experiences, you don't have a right to put those experiences out there. I'm sorry, you don't. Promising not to write about her anymore would mean shutting down a vital part of myself. Selfish twat, which isn't necessarily good for me or her. So my plan is to chart a middle course, where together we negotiate the boundaries of the stories I write and the images I include. This will entail hard conversations and compromises, but apparently, remember what she said in the Instagram post, her mom just guilts her and just says, she just convinces her to, based on having money or, she tricks her. But I prefer the hard work of charting the middle course to not giving up altogether, an impulse that comes in part from the cultural pressure for mothers to be endlessly self-sacrificing on behalf of the children. As a mother, I'm not supposed to do anything that upsets my children or makes them uncomfortable. Certainly not for something that's culturally devalued as my own creative labor. writer, blah, blah, blah. We seem to be creating this unrealistic image of the mother is all-giving, all-knowing, selfless superhuman, will gladly give the last piece of apple pie to please her lip-smacking, big-eyed child. I would. I'd give my kid anything. If my kid wanted this hoodie, she'd get it. My kid wanted money for my wallet? Yep. I mean, as long as you're not buying, you know, cocaine. But yeah, you do. That is what a parent does. A parent depletes themselves and pours it into their child so their child can make great decisions and become a contributing member to society, do good things, and be amazing. That is what a parent is supposed to do. I'm sorry. Surely there's a way to cut the pie so that I can write about motherhood in a way that takes into account my daughter's feelings and respects her boundaries. Only if she gives you permission, douche. But if I simply cordoned off motherhood as a forbidden subject for my writing, we would never know. You can... My daughter didn't ask to have a writer for a mother, but that's who I am. Amputating parts of my experience feels as abusive as a relationship as writing about her without any consideration for her feelings. She's saying her daughter is abusing her for asking her to take her off the internet. The audacity of this asshole. For now, we have agreed that I will not submit a picture for publication with her permission and that she has absolute veto rights in any image of herself. As for content, I have agreed to describe to her that what I'm writing about in advance of publication and to keep the facts that involve her to a minimum. I have not yet promised that she can edit my work, but we acknowledge that it's a future possibility. She also requested that instead of using her name, I call her by a self-selected pseudonym, Rochelle. And I'm taking that into advisement. She's not even going to do that. She's taking into advisement? You. One thing I did unequivocally say, however, was that I won't write anything mean about Zac Efron. That's what you're going to end your article on? I can't, guys, right now, I need you to go over to this lady, Christy Tate. Is she on Twitter? It's time to cancel Christy Tate. No articles. And you need to reach out to all Washington Post and be like, how dare you post an article about someone who doesn't have their child's consent to post her pictures and is flaunting the fact that she's not going to. She's like, this is what I do. Too bad. You cannot tell me that this is okay, everybody. Can't tell me it's okay. I don't know what to tell you. Girl, on Reddit, I'm sorry that you had to go through this. And you're probably, because it sounds like you still are and your mom doesn't give a shit. So she says, okay, that's such a long video. I don't care. I already feel like I'm at last resort stages now. I just recently had a huge public fight with my mom where I lost my temper and screamed at her. I'm 16. It's not okay that you're whoring me out for money. Yeah. Yell it from the rooftops, girl. And she got mad at me for making everything about sex. So this mom is creepy. And totally missed the point that I don't want my pics to be her money-making scheme anymore. But stuff got really bad because to her, image is everything. And me yelling something like that in the grocery store made her look bad and our family look bad, blah, blah, blah. No, you did the right thing, person. Rochelle, I'm going to call you Rochelle. You did the right thing. People are just upset, okay? They're so upset. Bringing up SAGTRA, benefits for performers and all that kind of stuff. They're just bringing it up. She's got to change her name legally, probably, all this stuff. The mom just decides she doesn't want to do anything about it. There was a lot to take in this. That story is insane. I hope I haven't heard the last. I reached out to her. She's clearly not going to want to come on the show, obviously. But I'm going to find this influencer, and I'm not going to rest until she is canceled either. This is a terrible person. She doesn't sound like she has a YouTube channel, which is fine. But she's still exploiting her kids on Instagram and on these vlogs and these blogs, okay? That's just as bad, everybody. When people are like, oh, they're only on Instagram. Instagram has as much reach as YouTube, or more now, okay? TikTok. We're allowing these kids on TikTok to do these videos. You know how many creepy guys are on TikTok watching these girls do these dances? TikTok is a dangerous place to be. If you have a kid, specifically a daughter, on TikTok who is 13 or like... I mean, you should probably wait till they're like 16. Don't let your kid on TikTok, is what I'm saying. Sorry. Guys, I'm sorry for such a long video. I got heated about this. Those analytics are not coming up. They will not unlock. I'm super sad that they won't unlock. It's taking forever, but I guess we're just going to do another video and we're going to unlock specific videos where they talk about shaving legs, bras, periods, and we're going to break down the analytics of who's watching those specific videos. If I can find that information, that will be very eye-opening because we're going to see the disgusting, creepy guys who are watching this stuff, and I guarantee it's happening. This is sad. These people are assholes, and they do not take into consideration their kids' futures. They might say that, be like, well, look at Jess Fan when she came over with the statement, my kids are going to be rich. Yeah, but your kids are not going to have any privacy whatsoever. They're going to be bullied in school. They're not going to have the life you think they're going to have. Money is not everything. Money sometimes is the worst thing you could give to your kids, okay? Raising them to be narcissistic assholes and YouTubers themselves is not going to help this world. You are not doing your kids any favors by not allowing them to have a future. Sorry. That's where this ends. Thank you for watching. If you guys want to help me again, head over to that place and help me buy analytics, because I'm going to buy every analytic that exists, because that's the only way we're going to actually prove to people how terrible this is. When you bring in the data and the analytics, people can't ignore it, right? And that's what we're doing here. You are valuable and you are loved. I hope that you have an incredible day. Stay tuned for the Micah video coming out this afternoon, just because we need a lighter air. I need to flush this out. I've got a little bit, I'm upset about this, okay? And so, yeah, I dug up some stuff, and just the bullying thing. We're gonna maybe do a whole episode just on how the ramifications of being bullied because of this stuff, because you know it's happening. Someday some kid's gonna reach out to me, and I can't wait to interview them about the shit that their life was on YouTube. So, do not compare yourself to these women. They are assholes. You're better than them, okay? Follow me on Instagram. Because that's how we grow this platform. That's how we get a bigger voice. That's how we shut down these douchebags. I will see you later.